What's up, everybody? Stone Cold RKO 512, and I'm here with my friend DashingKevinWalsh,
What's up, people?
and we're gonna give you our Wrestlemania predictions, and we're just gonna jump right into this. And the first match we're gonna talk about is Snooki, Trish Stratus, and John Morrison versus Michelle McCool, Lay Cool, and Dolph Ziggler. What are your thoughts on that match, and who do you think's gonna win?
I think Snooki, John Morrison, and Trish Stratus is going to win. Just prior to the fact that Trish Stratus is going to be in her first WrestleMania in ages, and of course Snooki from the Shore. Obviously she's obviously going to win because they wouldn't want her to lose, would they? Even though some fans would probably like that to happen. And John Morrison, same again. He's another great talent. As much as I'm a big Dolph Ziggler mark, I'm also a Jomo fan as well. If you didn't know, I'm a bit more of a Dolph Ziggler mark, but I honestly think that pretty much Jomo, Snooki, and Trish will win because Lay Cool and Ziggler's been getting the upper hand week in, week out, and I just think it's just going to go down like that, and we're going to see Snooki, Trish, and John Morrison win.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So I think Snooki, Trish Stratus, and John Morrison are gonna win. Obviously, because it's Trish Stratus, and she got pinned by Vicky Guerrero, the last Raw week that I saw, and by Lay Cool. So it's kind of like pushing, like where this is like where they're hyping up to where like the faces are gonna win and stuff like that. Kind of like what they're doing with the whole other match, the Lawler and Cole, and we'll get to that later. But I agree. Like I said, I'm also more of a Dolph fan than Morrison. But Morrison is good talent, and he's a future champion in my book. So I also am going to go with Snooki, Trish Stratus, and John Morrison to win. All right, and the next match is Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, at least you called him Cody Rhodes, because I was about to say if you called him Dashing Cody Rhodes, he's now the Dashing Cody Rhodes. So like basically, yeah, Cody, I think, will win against Rey Mysterio. I don't know why, because it's kind of been a bit of both. Like, Ray's been getting the best of Cody, Cody's been getting the best of Ray, but it's mostly been Cody getting the best of Ray, and I'm beginning to think, I don't know, I mean, I think Ray could win, but I want Cody to win, so I'm just gonna go with Cody to win because don't be surprised if you see a heel, win a match, and I think it'll be a good breakout moment and a career-defining moment for Cody Rhodes to obviously take his career to the next level after he perhaps gets a victory over Rey Mysterio at Mania. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I also think Cody Rhodes needs to win, and I want him to win. But it can either go either way. It could end with maybe Rey Mysterio winning, but not like straight up win. Maybe like a DQ, or maybe Cody Rhodes beats him and then like attacks him. Because I think this right here is gonna be like the perfect moment to debut Sin Cara. To like help out Rey Mysterio and stuff like that. But like I said, in this match, we haven't seen much of Rey Mysterio. I know last SmackDown, I missed the first half, and I'm actually going to watch that bit tonight. About I think they had a match against who did you have a match against? CM Punk.
Rey Mysterio, yeah, he had a WrestleMania rematch against CM Punk, which was interfered by Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes pretty much got the last laugh as far as SmackDown is concerned. But I think there will be another SmackDown before WrestleMania, so look forward to that.
Okay, sweet. Oh, I look forward to watching that then. But yeah, I definitely think that Cody Rhodes should go over. And Rey Mysterio handpicked Cody Rhodes to do this, so I think Rey Mysterio is willing to do this. Hopefully Vince is willing to let Cody Rhodes go over at WrestleMania. You know,
Yeah, I think Ray's ready to push someone over. I just want to throw that quickly in there.
yeah, I think so too. Because he's thinking of retiring, but not soon, but like down the road. So he might have put over younger talent. So I'm gonna have to go with Cody Rhodes also. I think it'll be a great match. Yeah. And this one's probably the one I'm mostly looking forward to watching, which is Randy Orton versus CM Punk. So what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, same, it's going to be one of my favourite matches. We've seen obviously Randy Orton single-handedly, sorry, take out each Nexus members apart from CM Punk with his devastating punt kick. CM Punk got the last laugh as far as Monday Night Raw was concerned, as of last week pretty much, when he hit him with like the wrench, and attacked him pretty much outside that little bus which his family was on. Well, his so-called family, even though it wasn't really them. But what I think is going to happen on the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania, we could see a possible return of Skip Sheffield to say that he's going to be in the corner of CM Punk. So I don't know if CM Punk is going to win at Mania, but I still going to put my money on Randy Orton and say that Randy Orton's going to beat Punk at Mania. But there is still like a rumor speculating that Skip Sheffield will be in the corner of Punk because he didn't necessarily get kicked out of the group, and he is set to return, and apparently he's going to be a big star to look out for, next big face or some rubbish. But obviously he might return as a heel if he is to be in CM Punk's corner. But that's my thoughts. I think Randy will win, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be that'd be amazing to see Skip Sheffield return, and especially be in the corner because they had talks of somebody being in his corner, and that was supposed to be Mason Ryan. So I was surprised when he got punted, and he's not gonna be in the corner. So I was like, I'm like, it's good to see like the one-on-one match with CM Punk, Randy Orton, because that's what everyone wanted to see is the one-on-one match without like the Nexus getting involved. But it would be good to see Skip Sheffield. And in this match, Randy, like you said, Randy Orton's been getting over with the punting everybody. CM Punk's, just attacked him, so he got maybe like a little bit upper hand right there, leading into WrestleMania, weakening him a little bit because he hasn't physically done anything to CM Punk yet, just weakening his group. So it would be interesting. This is gonna be a good match, good matchup. Hopefully, it's on really, really long. And if Skip Sheffield's there, I'll mark out.
And not only that, I think Randy Orton, for the most part, has got the better of the feud, so that's why I'm thinking it could go CM Punk's way also. It's kind of like 50-50, because if Sheffield is in Punk's corner, chances are Punk could win. He could take it by victory easily. Or if not, Randy Orton's just going to flat out RKO him, probably punt him back to wherever the fuck he came from, which is Chicago, so maybe into a pile of Pepsi cans or something for a little joke there. But
and it'd be a good way to put over Punk without actually devaluing Randy Orton, Yeah. So I actually want to see. I want to see Punk to go over, but I actually see now that Randy Orton probably is going to win. Just to see CM Punk to go over because of what happened. Like he took out the Nexus, so and I didn't want it to go out that way. So kind of like where CM Punk at least gets the victory, but I see I don't see it straight up though. So I think the Skip Sheffield would be the better idea, getting involved.
yeah, and you had that plan for perhaps a new Nexus if CM Punk is to be beaten at Mania to put an end to the Nexus.
Yeah, exactly. And then this next match, which probably had maybe the best build up going into WrestleMania, Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole with special ref Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Michael Cole's trainer Zach Swagger is going to be on his side.
I think that Jerry the King Lawler is going to whoop Michael Cole's ass. I think Steve Austin will make it a fair decision to say that Swagger won't intervene. And Michael Cole won't, obviously. I mean, Michael Cole ain't going to do jack shit. Yeah, you give him an ankle lock, but, he ain't going to beat, Jerry the King Lawler. So, but, Jerry the King Lawler's definitely going to, beat Michael Cole. So, that's just my opinions. And, yeah, it has had great build-up. There's been some deep emotion in it with, Cole calling out Lawler's family. And, of course, his son, for instance, Grandmaster Sexay, I don't know, Brian Christopher, where his name is. And of course, he put an ankle lock on, JR. So even though the way I see it is that Cole and Swagger's got the better of the feud so far, and I think their justice is going to be served to them at WrestleMania. So I look to see, obviously Jerry the King Lawler beat Michael Cole and Swagger, and hopefully Stone Cold stunners Swagger and Michael Cole and pours beer all over them. So yeah, I'm going to go with Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah, definitely. Jerry the King Lawler is going to kick Michael Cole's ass. He's everybody wants to see it. Everybody knows it's probably going to happen, and that's they're the heels and they've been dominating the last couple times. Especially, I was surprised when they put Jim Ross in an ankle lock. That was just all disrespect. I hated it so much, and I was like, he needs to get his ass kicked now. And I think it'll be a great match. I think it's going to be full domination unless Jack Swagger gets involved. Then Stone Cold can stunner his ass, and maybe they can fire him. So yeah, I see Jerry Lawler just dominating and Stone Cold Jerry Lawler in the ring, celebrating with some beers. So yeah, definitely. Next match, which I'm highly on. I like it. It's Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. What do you think about that?
I think Sheamus will retain because obviously Daniel Bryan's rematch clause, he's not gonna obviously beat Sheamus. It's gonna be yet another great match, and I just think Sheamus is either gonna bro kick his head off or give him a high cross, and Sheamus is still your US champion. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I'm going with Sheamus also. I don't think that Daniel Bryan just lost it, and I'm glad he lost it only for one thing. It's because WWE watered his ass down where I didn't even care about the belt anymore. And now, right when Sheamus won it, I was like, the belt has prestige now. So, and then they made it. Yeah, and then they made the match at WrestleMania, and the only thing I can see Daniel Bryan, I won't be upset if he actually wins, but I think it was just he like pushed James even more just from winning the belt. Like he was de-pushed and then
Easily, yeah. I mean, if he lost it straight away, it wouldn't make sense to be a slap in the face, and you might as well release him. Well, that's just my opinion, but
the only reason I can see Daniel Bryan winning is like they actually elevate him. Actually as he goes out there and just wrestles, doesn't have Gail Kim with him. Just goes out there and kicks ass and puts on a great match and wins the belt. That's the only way I could see it. But I see Sheamus just kicking his face in.
yeah, that's how I see it as well. Because Sheamus has only just captured the US Championship, so I think he's gonna retain.
And the match, I think everybody is looking forward to. I am. The streak is on the line. It's a no holds barred match. Triple H versus The Undertaker. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, I don't know how it's gonna go. First of all, I want to say there hasn't been enough, build up towards this matchup. All it is just been promos, 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 and I think it's silly because when Triple H came back, he didn't even have a feud with King Sheamus, who put him on the shelf. He attacked him once, and apparently that solves everything, which is BS. And all of a sudden, he wants to face Undertaker and revenge, for his best friend Shawn Michaels. So I don't see him ending the streak. I think Undertaker's just going to bury his ass. It's going to be a good matchup, overall. I hope so. Because both of them are good technicians, because Triple H, believe it or not, he is not a bad wrestler for a guy his size, and same with Taker, one of the best. So I can see this being a great match, but I don't see the streak being ended. But if they are to end the streak, let's just say Triple H is going to be hated for the rest of his life, mostly, than liked, well, in the wrestling business, because it would just be a slap in the face to pretty much everybody else who's competed against The Undertaker, pretty much, like Shawn Michaels especially, just be like, but as for next year, I just want to quickly add on, I hope to see Chris Jericho face him, so, yeah.
I agree with what you said. Triple H, if he does reach streak, he will, and people would blame one thing. They'll be like, he's the boss's daughter's husband, and he gets, to have that over Undertaker, and everyone would complain about it. I would too, kind of a little bit. I don't think he's deserving of it. If Shawn Michaels couldn't do it, Triple H, I don't think he can. Because I actually, in my opinion, I think Shawn Michaels is better than Triple H, and is more worthy. Yeah, is more worthy than having that on his record.
Yeah, and his new shirt is absolutely badass.
Yeah. And what I gotta think of this is, like you said, I don't like the build up. The build up is not good for me. I can't wait for the Raw. This upcoming Raw, and they're actually face to face. And I think this will be the best. This is what's gonna make the hype up into it. I think. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I think another match we forgot to mention is John Cena and The Miz.
Yeah.
Not to, forget that one. Obviously, that's not the main focus, but do you want me to give my quick opinions on that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that John Cena is just going to totally make Miz pretty much job. Well, no, I take that back. Miz is not going to job. It's going to be a good matchup, but in the end, Cena's going to either make him tap out to the STFU, if he still calls it that, or he's going to win with attitude adjustment. So that's it. I can see Cena winning. Miz has been great. Miz has definitely become awesome again. And I've loved The Miz week in, week out. He's been doing an amazing job. He's been funny. He pulled that little stunt where he pretended to be The Rock with the fake bald head. That was just hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. and he did the Miz elbow or the Miz's or the Awesome elbow or whatever it is. But like I said, if the Miz has been getting the upper hand week in week out, Cena's going to come determined and pretty much beat the Miz unless The Rock somehow intervenes in the match. Seeing that he is the guest host, which we also forgot to mention, he's going to be an epic, of course, guest host or host of WrestleMania, I should say, not guest host, host of WrestleMania. But yeah, if that happens, if The Rock interferes somehow, then obviously Cena's not going to win. But I don't think that's going to happen anyway, because I don't think the Rock's going to get anywhere near it. It all depends what happens on Monday Night Raw. But other than that, I think Cena's going to beat The Miz. So, Steven, your thoughts?
First, I just want to say I think The Undertaker's going to win against Triple H. I didn't say that before. And yeah, for the John Cena versus the Miz match, I really, for one, myself I want to see the Miz go over. I want him to win at WrestleMania. This is what he's been working up for. If he loses at WrestleMania, it's just nobody's gonna take his title in seriously if he doesn't win. But knowing John Cena and how much he always has to win at WrestleMania, that everybody knows and they think that he's gonna win. But what I see what could happen and what I would love to see is just Miz. This would be a great match back and forth. Of course, probably something's going to happen, with The Rock coming out. But what I want to see is just like the Miz win. I don't know if he maybe cheats to win and the ref doesn't see or something, like a low blow or chair shot, or maybe he DQs himself. I don't know. And I just see him just kicking. They kind of teased this. Remember when John Cena was getting his ass kicked by Alberto Del Rio and Brodus Clay, and then The Rock's music hit, like he was going to come and save Cena, but it was The Miz. So now, since The Miz did that, and say The Miz is Miz beats down John Cena after the match, and then The Rock comes out and just gives Miz a freaking rock bottom, and then just stares down Cena in the middle of the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's a good possibility, and that's what I was thinking. Maybe do you think, if possible, because The Rock is the host and he could do whatever the fuck he wants, do you think he would screw John Cena and let The Miz win?
Yeah, possibly.
There is a possibility, yeah. If anything happens, of course, on the epic last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania, we know that The Rock and Cena's going to have a confrontation. What's your thoughts on that, Steve?
Oh, it's going to be amazing, dude. I know The Miz is going to get involved. They're probably going to be. I don't know how they're going to pull it. I don't know who's going to come out first, either The Rock, Cena, Miz, or whoever is going to be out there. But they're all going to be in the same ring, I think, eventually. Yeah, there's going to be. Maybe we could see the security coming out and breaking up for all. We could see anything.
Somebody's going to be throwing hands, or there's a rumor has it there could be a triple threat matchup or something like that.
We could see
and
the security coming out and breaking up for all.
Hopefully, The Rock happens to win. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
And we hope to see Rock after WrestleMania, as he's promised and as he's set to do that. We look to see that happen as well.
And the last match, which the Royal Rumble, they say this is supposed to be they go to main event, so maybe this might possibly be the main event. I don't know, but that's Alberto Del Rio versus Edge, possibly Christian added to the match, right?
I mean, I think Del Rio's destined to win. I mean, we saw last year with Edge, he won the Royal Rumble, but he didn't go on to obviously win a World Heavyweight Championship. However, I think Del Rio, the way they've been pushing him is fine. They've built him up really well. For everybody who calls him overrated out there, he's not overrated. He's been working in independent scenes just as much as Sheamus and all these other wrestlers. He's about 30 something now. I believe young 30s, maybe 32, 33. I could be wrong. Facts are probably wrong there, but correct me if I am wrong. But no way is Del Rio overrated. He's great with the microphone. He's a great wrestler, and he's won the Royal Rumble. So therefore, why not? He's got to go on and complete his journey and win the World Heavyweight Championship. And if Christian's added to the mix, I wouldn't mind Christian winning a World Heavyweight Championship either, because Christian, as everybody knows, is probably one of the most deserving world champions of all time, easily. So I'm going to give it back over to Stephen, and he will give his thoughts on who's going to win that matchup.
Definitely agree. Alberto Del Rio needs to win this match. I told you I'm an Edge head. I'm an Edge fan. I've always loved Edge, but he's won the belt twice this year. I'm not sure. He's 11-time champion. and to put over Alberto Del Rio. I think he will do it. He should do it, and Alberto Del Rio is destined to win. And they built him up so much, Alberto Del Rio, like to where he can't be devalued anywhere else. Like just losing to Edge is not a big deal, But
No, it isn't. And then not only that, if Del Rio was to lose, then they've pretty much dropped the ball with Del Rio, because I don't know how he's going to rebound from that, because then there'll be somebody else next in line once their little feud's done. But I don't know. Let's see what happens. Hopefully Del Rio will win. I mean, I'm rooting for Del Rio to win. Do you want Del Rio to win, or if Christian's added to the mix, who are you going to pick then?
all right, Del Rio to win, Edge with against Edge. But if Christian's added to this, that's what I was about to say. If Christian's added to this makes this match a whole lot better, in my opinion. Like, it's good on paper, just Alberto and Edge, but Christian, because given the history of Edge and Christian, and then what we saw on SmackDown, the chair thing, I was confused sometimes, but then he actually hit Alberto Del Rio, so I didn't know if that was foreshadowing about the triple threat. Maybe they'll change the last minute. Like, we'll never know until like the last minute, and they're like one, and then they add Christian in there, and I mark out for that.
And remember, it's Del Rio's destiny to win. So hopefully he wins.
Even with Christian in the mix, I think Alberto Del Rio is still gonna win, and then possibly.
Yeah, I think because him and Edge are gonna come to terms with being distracted and beating the crap out of each other, and Del Rio's gonna perhaps capitalize. It's gonna be one of those things where they might double team him at first, and then they pretty much made the best man win, and then Del Rio's gonna come out of nowhere and just pretty much get one of them with a cross arm breaker or something. So yeah, why not?
Alberto Del Rio, and then after he wins WrestleMania, they could set up for Alberto versus Christian feud for the belt. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, once Del Rio's got it, then that means other talents can have a shot at it too, and it's called passing the torch. And this is why I want Del Rio to win, and I'm sure that's why Steven wants Del Rio to win as well. But as Steven said, if Christian's added to the mix, he wants Christian or Del Rio, and I'm gonna have to go with exactly what he's saying there as well, because it's two new world heavyweight champions. Because we don't really want to see Edge retain. Because really, does Edge really need another world championship, or does he need to retain it for that matter? I mean, he won't have another world championship, but what I mean is, why does he need to retain it when he's had that many world championships? So yeah, that's just my thoughts. Yeah.
Definitely, right now he doesn't really need it. He's already proclaimed himself in the WWE as great, being great.
He already is a legend. I mean, his Decade of Edge, Decade of Decadence DVD. I mean, that's a great DVD in itself, and I'm sure he's gonna have another one. So yeah, it's awesome.
Guys, that was our WrestleMania predictions. Comment down and tell us your input on it. What do you think about the matches? What's your favorite match, possibly? What do you think is going to be the worst? Do you think it's going to be a great WrestleMania? You going to buy it? You going to order it? Tell us. Make a video response. That's it, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe to DashingKevinWalsh, and subscribe to me if you haven't already. And peace, guys.
See you later, guys. Bye.